hello, 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 hello. Hi, I am so excited to be back with you all. We haven't been on in a minute. Oops, here, my head on right. Just wanted to come over real quick. This is just like a little commercial. We are getting ready for the Olympics. The Olympics are out there, and it started today, if I'm not mistaken. Well, really yesterday on their time, I believe. And so we're very, very excited about what's getting ready to happen with the Olympics and all the representation of all our professional athletes. We pray safety over them and a good time and really everybody bringing back a goal if we can. It would be nice if everybody could come back with the goal with the gold. But anyway, what I wanted to address is also that this week, of course, as everyone knows, the NFL is coming back into the limelight because now everybody's going into camp, getting ready for the season coming up. And I tell you, this is going to be a good season. Let me tell you why I think this is why this is called Who to Watch. First of all, welcome to Who to Watch Sports, where we recognize players who we believe is who to watch. So for this season coming up, the 8 teams that were in the last of the last right prior to the Super Bowl, those are the teams that we're watching who to watch because that was such a great series with those teams going um, into the season for the Super Bowl. So um, a lot of who people had projected wasn't there. A lot of people thought wasn't going to be there was there. Who didn't think was going to be there. Who was going to be there didn't make it. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want to really want to focus on the players. And so, as you all know, there was golf and there was Jackson and there's Stroud and there was, I mean, Hurts. I mean, it was eight. It's the 8. I'll come back and do just a session on that, just a little segment on that because I'm really really excited about them coming. See what those teams are going to do coming back into the season. And I know that the three-peat is what's ahead of Kansas City. They want to be history with three-peat. And you all know, if you've been watching me for a minute, that my main who to watch is going to be who is the team in the NFL that could take it the entire season without any losses and win a Super Bowl as well, which means they would match the Miami Dolphins record, probably surpass because I think they're playing more games now than they did before. So that is my personal. I'm like, okay, it's been 50 years and no one's been able to snap that one yet. The other thing is, of course, they had there were the teams that played in the last 8. They were all under 30. I mean, they all were younger, and so 2 of them, I think, were under 30. And so it's just interesting to see how the new ones are coming in, and they've only been in the league a year or two. Live one. He played his whole season. This was his first time playing through season, but yeah, he was in the headed towards the playoffs. So I think that there's a different element coming in now with these young people. And then of course there's some that didn't that I believe that are coming up from the draft. And I'm just going to mention one in particular right now on this show because he really just keeps me in stitches. But I am so impressed with him, and that's the wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Coleman. I think he really is going to do very very well coming out of Florida. I think he's going to do very very well, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for his future. You know, praying he stay healthy, and but his whole approach, and I think the Buffalo Bills for allowing us to be able to kind of get a snippet of him, closer to him, for who he is, personality, and I think him and Josh are really gonna do very well because he seems like he's really ready to be challenged, but also challenge. And so it's going to be interesting to see how he does for the wide receivers across the board. There's a new class coming in with the wide receivers, and then I was kind of disappointed that Armstead is not with San Francisco still, but he moved to I think it's Jacksonville, and have a high regard for him as well. So I'm looking forward to see how this transition is going to work for him. I think he's one of the top, uh, linemen that's playing the game these days, and um, definitely a Hall of Famer, and to me, in my regards. And so I'm hoping that he has a very, very good season and he can get his ring. Then also we know that Jalen Hurts wants to come back because he's had a taste of that Super Bowl, so he's really, really um, wanting it now, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I know Bengals is going to be coming in. I know Trevor Lawrence is going to be put. I mean, we have a lot, but then with the new class of those that the class that just started, I'm not going to talk about them in this term, but we'll kind of get more into the quarterbacks and into the uh, now my and into some of the other positions. However, the running backs is who I'm looking at too, because the game used to be more fun to me when the running backs had an opportunity to be the game changer or be a major contributor. And I know that we've got your tight ends that have gotten more press now. We know that the quarterbacks always are getting press, and we know that some of the wide receivers. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But there's one young man, his name is Zamir White. He ended up coming from Georgia uh, to the Raiders, and I know I am so impressed with him. So I'm excited to see what this season does for him as he comes back into camp and hopefully be able to be a contributor to the running back class or the running back team that they have for Los Angeles. I don't think that he is the type. So one thing about him that's unique with me is that it doesn't seem like he has to have the limelight. It's just that whenever he gets the ball, he's just gonna perform. Period. I like that about him. Also, I'm looking forward to see what Stetson Bennett does coming back in, because he also was from Georgia. Very, very bright young man, very intelligent, very smart. And no matter what was off the field, I know people want to know that's none of my business. I don't care about his personal from that standpoint. All I care about is that he can do this if he wants to, but he's so intelligent. He's so smart. He's so sharp. He really can do anything he wants to do. But what I like about his approach to the fall side is that he's not scared. He was very. He just came in and just he just came in like it was nothing to it. So I think that more has to do with his mental capacity than anything. And he's one thing I think about him is he reminds me of that movie that Richard Gere was in, Against All Odds. He reminds me with that mindset. He plays himself. Really, to me, Patrick Mahomes does the same. He has that mindset. He plays himself. He's not trying to play the team. He's not playing it. He plays himself. That's why when he comes up with all these things at the end, or he makes these creative, I was like, where did that come? Because he's really playing against himself. And sometimes you can be your best defense, but you can also be your best offense. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to see some of the coaching changes that have taken place. But I'm really more the linemen. I This year I'm going to really be on the linemen. The linemen have not been getting a lot of press, but I mean, from the quarterback to the receivers to the running backs, you got to have linemen. You have to have good linemen. And I want to try to give some press more to linemen on both sides because I'm very impressed with them and how they get in, they get out, how they make the plays. They make the plays happen because of their defense and or their offensive um, the linemen and being able to support the quarterback and or support the defense to make sure that the quarterback on the other side doesn't get to run the plays they want. So they're very important to me as well. Now the last one I'm going to be looking at too. We've got I think it's a young man who's a kicker who came in and he's done pretty well with the kicking unit. And so those are the main ones that I want to look at. I want to look at the eight that ended out last season. Those teams in those total teams, and whether they'll be coming back in. Two, we're going to look at who you think to watch is for this year. We're going to also wonder if Mahomes and those are going to be able to make history with the three-peat. We'll also see if somebody else can make history with the Dolphins exceeding the Dolphins schedule. We'll also see who the top linemen are that are on both sides within the league, and we're going to also focus on the running backs in the league, and of course, definitely your wide receivers. But I like cornerbacks and the safeties as well because having come under the era where there was Dion and the Blade brothers and the what was that? There's another group that came out of South Florida. It was the Blade Boys. It was Dion, Irvin, Mike Irvin. They played defense on that. Some of them, who played the cornerbacks and the safeties, they played like real play. Like it was either you gonna get the ball, I'm gonna get the ball. Either they didn't go for, they did for they played for two things. They played for either to make sure you didn't get the ball or that pass did not make it, not because it didn't get to you, but because I got to it first, or I made sure you didn't catch it. Those were the best plays to me because it was like so obvious that like it was going to go up, and you could see that there was a fight there. And so you have to be a really good receiver to not be afraid of that defense that's going to be coming at you to make sure you don't get it. So you got to be tight with you and that quarterback, making sure your passes are on point and you know how to even when you're running your routes, be able to be as much of a defensive player and receiver as well as the receiver. And then it's also when those uh, safeties and the quarterback can take that ball and run it back the other way. Those are some good plays as well. Those are far few between those. So I'm looking forward for this season for that. And I just want to say that there's a lot that I'm going to be coming back on. Probably this week, I'll probably doing one every day because I've missed some things. I missed the NBA draft, and then I missed the covering the NBA finals, and wanted to know what you all thought about the. I watched the last 8 games of the NBA finals as well. Well, not just the finals, but of the semifinals and the finals going into that. And so Anthony Edwards is definitely from the NBA. He is definitely on my radar of who to watch because I don't know why, but I see this young man as a three-sport player. I I I I see him in basketball. I see him in football. And I don't know if it's going to be baseball or something else, but I see him being definitely a three team player. There are some others. I think Patrick Mahomes, if he decides and he does very well with what he wants to do in the NFL, he eventually could come be a 2.2. He may go over on that side where his dad was and get a championship over there in the National Baseball League. Who knows? But anyway, there are a lot of players I believe coming in now. Coleman, I think, played basketball too with Buffalo Bills. So there are a lot of young men coming in with like double or triple skills sets that they can do that that can make their professional career not just conducive to just one sport. And so that's going to be interesting to watch. Of course, we know we've also had the change with the contracts for the uh, panelists with Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and those. I think this is going to be the last year, and with whatever the contracts are doing, and all the other things that are going to be happening uh, with the sports behind the scenes. I really don't want to get much into behind the scenes too much, other than I'm going to put this out here. Well, not yet. This is not the one to do it, but I have an interest too in the commentating of the games, specifically football. So I'll mention that at another time. Not from the bull, from TV, whatever, but even being on the field and all of that. I would like to see. I had a just a thought, and I'll put that out there. But other than that, I'm looking forward, and I think we're going to have a very very good season coming in, and I'm looking forward to see what everyone does and how I hope everybody stays healthy during training camp and really get ready for what's going to be one of the I think more the best seasons that we've had, and I know that if everybody stays a unified front, you may not be able to guess who's going to be in. It'll just be when it gets down like it was this time. There are some people that wasn't expected to be in there, and they will be in there. But I tell you what, those eight, well, I'll say seven since Kansas won. Those eight that came down with the that were part of the last year's leading up to the Super Bowl, they're coming back with a vengeance. It's gonna be, they are coming back with the, because all of those were so very close. A lot of those were very very close. So not alone for those coming back, but for the teams who didn't get to even be in that, they're going to be coming, very very strong. And then the new ones that are on the rosters, what contributions do they make towards maybe even helping those teams who didn't get it, or those teams who did get it go even advance further? So that's going to be a very good. I think we have a very good year of a very good season rather of the NFL. We're going to have a very good season of the NBA. I got to cover the NBA. Go back and cover the NBA, the draft for that as well. And then of course we got to cover tennis, and we've got to cover now the Olympics, which is going on now. So I'll be on more frequently, like every pretty much every day, bringing something in. But anyway, much. I hope you all are having a good summer. Stay safe. Sports brings us together, so let's just enjoy that and enjoy the fun of seeing who's next and who's coming up. And so we look forward to this going forward. I want more engagement. I'll put out there where you can have more communication of who you think to watch, who's to watch, and we'll work that into our platform more even further rather, as we continue to come on and share what's out there. Anyway, take care. Talk to you later, and you all have a good one. And just remember, keep your eyes open for who to watch.